What we found really interesting about working with Caroline was she actually sat down and fully understood what we were currently doing. She very quickly worked out from that where we wanted to go and actually managed to pick out lots of very interesting angles and approaches that we hadn't considered.
The biggest issue that I've come across in tech and digital is that we're not really built for this work. Everything for so long, up until really relatively recently, was all about physical hard labour. So we don't have the mental resilience to cope with highly stressful situations, highly stressful environments, fast-paced environments for long periods of time. Yet that is what the digital and tech scene requires. That's what it needs. So the reason for coaching is because coaching at its core helps you improve how you think. Because if you improve how you think, you can control how you feel, you control the way that you act, your behaviour, all of that stuff, but it all starts with how you think.
If you work in tech, you're 5 times more likely to be depressed than the national average. There is a high incidence of stress, work-related stress within the sector. There's a high neurodiverse population, and that brings additional challenges to individuals and to leadership. And the culture, it's an always-on culture, and people are expected and have always been expected to be ready to work, to be ahead of the curve. It's really important that when we're addressing well-being, when we're looking at leadership problems, that we're looking at it holistically, so we're looking at all areas that are impacting on a business. Caroline really brings the leadership coaching, helping leaders understand their own skills, their own styles of communication, and how that might impact on outcomes for the business, but also outcomes for the people within the business.
Having somebody who's going to sit you down and actually work through what you're doing and the approaches you're taking is really valuable. You can't know everything, and an external perspective on what you're doing is critical. I learnt quite quickly within the business that you really need to surround yourself with people who are better than you are in order for it to move forward. Otherwise, it stays exactly where it is.
Your requirements as a business change as you grow. And everyone knows that, but when you're in the midst of it, it's actually not apparent. Working with Caroline through the workshop, sitting down with her, looking at our needs, looking at where we were going and where we wanted to be, we were able to really define the types of roles that were going to assist us. Caroline allowed us then to see things from a different perspective and change our mentality, which was very refreshing.
When we met Caroline earlier this year at a networking event, it was just like eye-opening. It was somebody who actually understood the problems that I've been having, the challenges and where we wanted to go. So the fact that Caroline also had experience in B2B sales and marketing as well as the app side as well it's just rare. It's absolute gold dust.
The words digital skills gap have been around for a long time. What it stereotypically meant was the idea that we need to get more people into the tech field because there are so many jobs and not enough people to fill them. We've been doing a lot of work as a sector to get more people into it, but I'm seeing a new skills gap develop, which is that the employers are not finding the employees. We've now got a gap between the two. And what I mean by that is that we've now got so many people every year entering into this sector, but while they've been taught how to do a job, and this is something that I say all the time, especially in universities, they do a great job of teaching you how to do a job. They don't tell you how to get a job. And that is the biggest skills gap that is missing. They have no idea how to sell themselves to a company, no idea how to find the actual jobs that they want, or to even work out what they want to do. So there's this big gap in the middle now that is more about communication and mindset.
When Caroline first started to work with 6B, she met all of the key team members and made sure that she had some understanding of sort of their viewpoint on things, where everybody was coming from and why we'd got to the place that we were at. And then she also took on a kind of non-exec director role for us. She came in because we didn't have that really senior marketing person. She came in and, sort of set that department up from scratch in such a way that she could hand it over. We could recruit into it and build it up and keep it going in the long run.
I don't like to work with somebody unless I'm going to get them results. I'm not fluffy, I'm very results driven, and it's just because of my background, it's led me to this point of being very metric focused. I've worked with Institute of Leadership and Management. I work with the Business Coaching Academy to get that qualification. Currently waiting on my Worldwide Association of Business Coaching one to come through as well. And then I'm also a practitioner in LEP, which is a self-awareness tool that reveals your cognitive bias, which is a fancy way of saying the way that you think.
Caroline worked with me to support my personal growth. She helped me to work more productively with different members of my team by understanding better what their motivators were, what their personalities were, also helping me to understand their viewpoints and how we could come together better as a team and collaborate more effectively. I think it made me better as a manager. It helped me to question some of my mindset and ways of thinking and interacting with people, which then leads to a happier, more motivated and fulfilled team.